If you're one of these college kids that listens to my show, we love you. You're welcome here, especially the smart ones. We really enjoy you listening to the show. This is how I discovered conservatism when I was younger, listening to Limbaugh and others, right? Coming out of college, working, I picked up Hannity and Levin and started reading Soul and Friedman and Schumpeter and others, Friedrich Hayek, and I fell in love with the idea of economic freedom. Why you fell in love with socialism is remarkable, considering the idea has a 100% success rate, it does, of failure. It has failed 100% of 100. It has failed 100% of the time. Its success rate at failure, ladies and gentlemen, is unblemished and unparalleled. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why really smart young adults and old adults too, not just young adults, have fallen in love with an idea so thoroughly discredited. It's like a guy in the majors who was this hot AAA prospect. I've had these baseball analogies over the past few days have been in my mind since I watched Moneyball for the 1,000th time. It's like you get up to the majors, he's 0 for 71, and you continue to trot him out there. Like, no, he will definitely hit that dinger the next time. It's not working. It has never worked. And the people who claim it works don't practice it themselves and are grifting off of you. It is so obvious. Case in point, this Patrisse Cullors who runs this BLM group, Black Lives Matter. We should start calling it Black Lives Don't Matter, because Black Lives Don't Matter to BLM. It's Black Life Matters, singular. Black Life, it's the Black Patrisse Cullors who runs Black Lives Matter. Her Black Life matters. Your Black Life does not matter. It does not. It's not plural, Black Lives Matter. It's Black Life Matters, hers, not yours. It's the biggest scam ever. How do you keep falling for this? Another exposed grifter. Now, in case you doubt that Patrisse Cullors, one of the co-founders of Black Life Matters, her Black Life Matters, that's what we should call it. Patrisse Cullors' Black Life matters to her a whole lot. We've played repeatedly her telling that interviewer in that clip, so I'm not going to play that one again, that she's a trained Marxist. We've played that 1,000 times. I want to play a new one. What is this, National Pulse, Key? Hat Tip National Pulse. Here's another video of one of the co-founders of Her Black Life Matters, Patrisse Cullors, admitting again that she likes these Marxist books and everyone should give them out, practice Marxism, despite the fact that she doesn't practice Marxism at all. Check this out.
I was speaking to this young person from Arizona who's trying to fight SB 1070. And he grabbed a book and he said, it's like Mao's Red Book. And I was like, man, that's what I was thinking. And it was just really cool to hear him make that connection. I was like, how about you buy like 10 to 15 of these books and you all have like a youth organizing group where you talk about it and you really try to engage this. And we can just we need to build off of this. And so that leads me to a point that I actually wanted to kind of focus on today, which is I think I have a really important role in speaking to youth. I have, maybe it's because I came in the movement at 17 and a half, so I have like just a knack for knowing how to organize young people into this organization and kind of teach them this politic and then hear them now organize other people.
Again, I discussed yesterday, and I'll talk about it again, the concept of a sunk cost. There are 1,000 paths to success in business and baseball and marketing and architecture and engineering. Some went to this school, some went to that school, some invested in this, some invested in that. Some got wealthy in commodities, some got wealthy in tech. There are 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 paths to success. There is one absolute path to failure every time, not recognizing a failure when you see it, a concept in business called the sunk cost. When you invest money in a project that loses, and because you're so emotionally invested in it, your emotions take over. And despite the project failing and failing and failing, the stock going down and down and down, you continue to invest like an addicted gambler. No, the next round, I'll turn it around. Sir, you're $100,000 in debt. You've just second mortgaged your home to play baccarat or whatever. It's over. It's not over. I'm going to turn it around in the next round. It's not going to happen. It's like fetch. You can't make fetch happen. Fetch is not going to happen. Either is socialism. Socialism is the fetch of our time. It's not going to happen. the guaranteed path to failure, to never recognize a sunk cost. And I ask you, liberals, how many times are you going to get suckered by the same Marxist scam? That's Patrisse Cullors, co-founder of Her Black Life Matters, talking about celebrating communist murderers. Mao, Stalin, Marx, celebrating communist murderous tyrants, saying, oh, the book, we should give that book out to others. Should get a group together and celebrate this book and talk about this book. What is Marxism? It's government control of the means of production and socialism. It's all the same ideological disaster. Don't let people say, oh, socialism is at an advanced stage. That's for idiots, okay? For sane people, Marxism, socialism, communism has the same parent, and that is government control, tyrannical control of the means of production. What does that mean for the liberals listening who doesn't know what the means of production are? That means government control of the economic means and the political infrastructure. Folks, there is no difference between political power and economic power when it comes to the ideological underpinnings of these systems, right? It doesn't matter who you vote for. If they can steal all of your money, your factories, your business, whatever, it doesn't matter. What do you care if you vote for candidate A, Mao, or candidate B, Stalin, if both of them are going to steal your stuff and murder your family if they don't give it up? What does it matter? Friedrich Hayek made this abundantly clear. Politics, the economy, these are intertwined. You can't separate the two. When are liberals going to learn? The people they're being led by who pretend to practice this nonsense are lying to you. You doubt me? The evidence is in front of you. I just showed you the video of the woman in this New York Post report by Yaron Steinbuch, June 11th, 2021. Patrisse Cullors, that was her in the video, proclaiming her love for Maoist Marxist principles. Here's a headline from the New York Post. You got suckered again. BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors reportedly builds a fence and a gate around her $1.4 million home. Number one, I thought fences and gates and walls don't work. Oh, I guess just cheap walls don't work. When you build a $35,000 wall around there, that'll work just right. Why would you waste $35,000 if you're a Maoist Marxist on a wall if the wall didn't work? Because of course the wall works. You don't actually believe anything. So the question for you, ladies and gentlemen, is if a devout Marxist who claims that the government should control the means of production, factories, businesses, and all the wealth created, and the government should redistribute the wealth, then why is she hoarding the wealth herself through capitalist principles? Why? If she doesn't believe this stuff, then why do you? Is it not a fair question? Conservatives listening are like, we get it. I know we get it, but we have kids. Our kids are being taught this stuff. Folks, these are the tools we need to dismantle this nonsense that's being tattooed on our kids' brains in institutions of higher learning. I'm not just talking about this to waste your time or make fun of Patrisse Cullors. I'm trying to give everyone out there, because listen, this is what I do for a living. I'm here to do the research. You all have jobs. You go out there, you fly planes, you build houses, you do important stuff. I get paid to talk. I love my job. It's a great job. It's not as hard as what you have to do. You don't have the time to do a lot of this stuff. Many of you are really busy. I'm here for that. I can help you. These are the tools we need to show our kids when they come home from their freshman year of college and tell you how wonderful socialism is. They learned it from an intern who's teaching the class they paid $100 million for to get into, an 18-year-old intern in his first year of graduate school, telling him how capitalism sucks while they're listening to his lecture that he recorded on his iPhone using a pair of fancy iBuds or whatever. I don't even know what this crap is called anymore. iCapitalism. They're all frauds. Just ask your kids, if these people really believe this stuff, then why don't they do it? Again, quoting Moneyball, if they're good hitters, then why don't they hit good? If they believe in Marxism and socialism, why don't they practice it? It's not the only story, folks. This is why I let off with this today. You're getting played again. Here's another New York Post story from April 27th of 2021. Yaron Steinbuch, again. BLM leaders jail reform group reportedly spent $26,000 at a luxury resort. A luxury resort Why not at a government institution? Why not go do it in a jail cell or something like that, or ask if you could do it on a military base free? I mean, why not? Why'd you need a luxury resort? The whole principle of Marxism is from each according to their abilities, to each according to their needs. Did you need a luxury resort? I mean, it's interesting how liberal socialists always tell us what we need. You know, Bernie Sanders, you don't need $1 million. Bernie, you're a millionaire. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you idiots. That's Bernie Sanders. These people are epic frauds. If they believed any of this stuff, they would practice it. And the bottom line is they don't believe any of it. And you are being played for a sucker. The joke is on you. Puts a fence around her mansion, spends time at luxury resorts. Here's Patrisse Cullors, trained so-called Marxist, again in another video with Mark Lamont Hill. It's a little over a minute, where Mark Lamont Hill, who I'm not a huge fan of, but he asks an honest question here. Hey, Patrisse, you know, you own $1 million. I think it's a $3 million real estate portfolio. My gosh, for a Marxist. Let me tell you, Marxism's always good for the Marxist leaders, aren't they? But for the great unwashed, the smellies, and the deplorables, Marxism really sucks. Starvation, that whole thing, not very good. Here's Cullors explaining why, where she explains that her $3 million real estate portfolio shouldn't be turned over to the government, basically, and is good for her family because she can support her family, which is odd because that sounds exactly like what conservatives say, that you should be able to own money and own property and assets and take care of your family because you know what's best for your family first. But that's weird how she advocates a capitalist principle while proclaiming she's some kind of a Marxist. Totally bizarre. Either she doesn't know or she got trapped in a corner and doesn't realize how dopey her answer really sounds. Check this out.
Also a critique, though, from the left that would say, if you are a trained Marxist, if we're talking about a certain kind of radical politic, that extravagant homes of any sort or multiple properties of any sort is itself contradictory to the ideology that you hold. And so it's not about having money per se, but that it's about or about property per se, but it's about there being a potential contradiction between your expressed politics and your lived practice.
Sure. And I think that is a critique that is wanting. And I say that because the way that I live my life is in direct support to Black people, including my Black family members, first and foremost. And for so many Black folks who are able to invest in themselves and their community, they choose to invest in their family. And that's what I've chosen to do. I have a child, I have a brother that has severe mental illness that I take care of. I support my mother, and I support many other family members of mine. And so I see my money as not my own. I see it as my family's money.
Oh, good. Excellent. You're a capitalist. That's what we see it as, too. If you've managed to grift people out of millions of dollars because of your tremendous speaking skills, your charisma, and people are willing to pay you for those skills, that's called capitalism. Is she missing this? Folks, what part of this am I missing? Am I missing something? This is a person who says she believes the government should control the economic means of production and the assets generated from those means of production. Government should control factories, services, turn over your assets to the government. They redistribute those assets according to people's needs, right? That's what she said she believes in. And yet when questioned why she's a millionaire or has a $1 million portfolio, precision matters here, and has a fence around her property and spends time at luxury resorts, she says, well, it's because I need to take care of my family, this private circle of people I have. Yes, that's not that. I mean, you used to do Aikido. I liked it, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu more. But you know what? The great part about Aikido is you're supposed to use people's force they use against you back against them. It's actually pretty cool. You know, it's a great exercise too. I enjoyed it. But this is like an Aikido flipperooski here. Like, I don't know if you think they get it. Like how their own energy is being turned against them. They're advocates for a system they don't practice themselves. She just said she's a capitalist.